Now this is the latest generation Prius and has been launched in India for 38.96 lakhs. At that price point, it costs as much as a new Audi A4. Even compared to the old Prius, it packs better technology and of course looks better. We are driving it today to tell you just how good it is and does it justify its steep price tag. Now the design of the Toyota Prius is certainly futuristic. Take the headlamps for example. They look like two rockets trying to escape Earth's gravity. The fender and the grille too are angularly designed. Now if we move on to the side here, the teardrop shape of the car becomes rather apparent. Now the main reason for the teardrop shape is to maximize efficiency and minimize drag. The roofline also tapers smoothly into the boot. Now to give you an idea, the drag coefficient of the new Prius is 0.24%, which is less than that of a Nissan GTR. Now the Prius also sits 20 mm lower than the old car, which gives it a sportier stance. Now if you look at it from the distance, it looks like a normal hatchback, but as you get closer, it becomes apparent that it's actually quite a long car. Now the rear is the most striking part of the Prius. These vertically stacked all-LED tail lamps add to the futuristic design of the car. So does this glass section, which makes the tailgate look like a floating spoiler. Now the overall design of the Prius is not beautiful, but it's certainly striking and interesting to say the least. The futuristic theme of the Prius has been carried forward into the interior as well. This drive selector lever, for example, looks straight out of a spaceship. The seats, on the other hand, are conventional and provide good support. They do come with electrically adjustable lumbar support, but the position itself has to be adjusted manually, and that in a 38 lakh rupee car is a bit of a letdown. You don't get electrically adjustable seats, but you do get a new touchscreen 7-inch infotainment system. But before you get too hopeful, let us inform you that it does not support Android Auto nor Apple CarPlay, something that has become a bit of a norm these days and is even available in cars considerably cheaper than the Prius. It does get wireless charging though, but sadly there aren't too many smartphones in the market that support that function. The Prius also comes with an automatic dual zone climate control which works wonders in the sweltering Delhi heat. But the rear passengers do not get an AC vent. The party trick, however, is that you can adjust the air conditioning airflow from the steering mounted controls. The instrument cluster is an all-digital affair and sits in the center of the dashboard, displaying more information than you would actually need. Apart from the usual trip meter, fuel levels and real-time efficiency, the display of the Prius also shows you battery levels, the flow of electric current from battery to electric motor and from the regenerative brakes to the battery pack, your fuel savings and also your fuel consumption. The car also gets cruise control and a heads-up display as well, though it only displays the speed. The cabin of the Prius is actually quite spacious. In the rear there is ample knee room, though the headroom is a bit restricted due to the sloping roofline and the fact that the battery pack and the fuel tank are housed under the rear seats. But that has helped Toyota free up more space in the boot, and it can swallow 2 large suitcases with ease. The engine is a 1.8 litre petrol unit. Here it makes 98 PS of power and 142 Newton meters of torque. Now you would think that the power figures are less than ideal, but actually they aren't, because the electric motor adds 72 PS and 163 Newton meters of torque to the mix. The best part about this powertrain is that virtually no fuel is consumed when you are at long traffic lights or in crawling traffic, as then the Prius works on the electric mode only. That said, the Prius sold in India uses a nickel metal hydride battery pack, while the rest of the world has moved on to lighter lithium-ion batteries. The only advantage the batteries in the Prius is that it lasts longer and are cheaper to produce too. On the highway, the electric motor works in conjunction with the internal combustion engine, but in the city, the electric mode can be used purely. And the car also comes with 4 driving modes to facilitate efficient driving, including normal, eco, power and electric. The petrol engine is only fully engaged when you accelerate hard, and when you do, the CVT gearbox sends all the torque to the front wheels and the Prius darts forward and accelerates quite relentlessly. But that isn't what it's meant for. The Prius, for most intent and purposes, is a city car. It is meant to get you from A to B as efficiently as possible, and it certainly does that with ease. Our fuel efficiency tests returned a mileage of 19.5 kmpl in peak hour city traffic. Yes, that is almost half the claimed figure, but keeping in mind we averaged about 20 kmph after 3 solid hours of driving, the figure is rather commendable. The Prius feels really quiet on the inside, especially in the electric mode. It's almost eerie, so much so that it feels quieter than a lot of luxury cars on the market today. It's only after you cross the 30 kmph mark does the internal combustion engine come to life, and the transition from full electric to assisted power to full petrol power is almost seamless and barely noticeable. The suspension has been stiffened up by Toyota, and compared to the old car, the new Prius rides much better. The ride isn't Camry comfortable, but it's quite pliant nonetheless. The smaller undulations are tackled with ease, but the thinner tires do tend to crash into the bigger potholes. The wind noise is barely noticeable, but there is a fair amount of tire road that tends to seep into the cabin at high speed. The steering is light and really easy to maneuver, especially while negotiating tight turns inside the city. But it's completely devoid of feedback, something that becomes apparent the moment you get off the city and onto the highway. Also, this car doesn't want to be driven enthusiastically. There is a fair amount of mass that the Prius has to lug along, and the front end tends to struggle for grip in the corners, and it tends to understeer as well. The regenerative brakes provide plenty of bite but lack in feel. But if you keep your enthusiastic inputs in check, the Prius can be driven all day long without a problem, and it will return you a great fuel efficiency as well. The Toyota Prius clearly isn't an enthusiast's car, but it is one of the most technologically advanced cars on sale in India today. Though at 38.9 lakhs, it is quite expensive and isn't as opulent as similarly priced luxury cars. But if you want a car that's comfortable, spacious, and can get you from A to B with minimal fuel usage and helps you stand out in a crowd while saving the environment, the Toyota Prius does make a great case for itself. If you like the video, don't forget to share and subscribe, and please let us know what you think in the comment section below.